I thought because here on FestiVITA we like talking about stuff, discovering stuff about cultural, stuff related to countries, aspect of a country, that they do a lot. There is a sport in Poland that we
And Plymouth.
and
I
Plymouth,
already
yes,
know where this is going.
and Plymouth. If you listen to the podcast radio show of our dear Joseph Terry, head of sport, you might have heard Kornelia coming to talk about Speedway on the radio show, and I thought here on FestiVita, if whilst the match goes on, would you be happy to tell us all about what is Speedway? Because we're watching here the French-Polish match, and as much as unfortunately Poland doesn't seem to be qualifying in football, I think they seem to be way better in Speedway.
And before Cornelia starts, I would want to say, if you don't know what it is, that's okay. Because 2 months ago, sorry, I didn't either. And I lasted as head of sport for a year and wasn't even sacked. So it's doable.
So yeah, do you want to tell us a bit like what is Speedway and why is it how come it is such a big thing in Poland?
Yeah, sure. I mean, okay. Well, Speedway is a sport where you race on bikes. You've got 4 players racing around in a circle on a stadium, and they're racing on a very specific ground that needs mud on it and stuff like that, so you can kind of drift, because basically the bikes the players are racing on don't have any brakes. So you basically have 4 laps and 15 heats. And you've got 4 players basically racing, trying to get the first spot, and based on the spot you get different amount of points. In Poland, there are 3 leagues when it comes to Speedway. The most popular one is Ekstraliga, where the best teams basically race. And we get players from different countries around the world where Speedway is also quite popular, which is, for example, Sweden, Denmark, the UK, Australia. I've heard of Speedway in the US as well, although I don't think it's on the same level, because we don't really get any people from the US in our teams. And I'm saying that because, and the Speedway League in Poland is considered to be the best in the world, simply because we have the best players and the champions that win all the competitions. So it is a very, very popular sport in Poland, alongside football, obviously. The stadiums that there are for Speedway are literally look the same as in regular football stadiums. Might be a bit smaller, but still quite impressive. So usually during games, there's 3,000-4,000 people coming in to watch the game. Pardon?
Sorry. Oh, that's so close.
Care to evaluate?
Poland has just headed against France. By the way, is my thing backwards? Am I watching the right game?
I don't know. Why are you saying that?
Did Lewandowski just show the header on the thing, or am I a little bit behind the?
I think you're probably a little bit behind, because he did that I think ages ago already.
What minute is it? Can I ask?
I am on minute 31.
And well, how is it that it's showing me minute 33 here?
33? Oh, you are ahead actually. Oh, you are ahead. What the hell?
I think a little refresh would do a job.
Yeah, probably.
A little refresh on ITV, or is it BBC?
Sorry, I interrupted you, Kornelia.
BBC.
Oh, no, absolutely. You're absolutely fine.
So yeah,
yeah.
continue. Sorry, Cornelia.
So, to continue my monologue on Speedway, there's loads of people showing up to the games. It's been estimated that since the season started, there's been 500,000 of people coming to the stadiums to watch the games, pretty much. There is also, obviously there are leagues, but there is also championships happening, which happen in different countries. So it could be Poland, could be Czechia, Sweden, England, loads of places. And so because my family comes from a city which is well known for Speedway, because The city is called Gorzów Wielkopolski, and they have a very strong team, which is currently second position in the highest league, which is quite good, although could be better. So I am a very, very passionate Speedway fan, and I kind of bring the sport into my friend group since no one has heard of it ever.
But that's my question that I wonder is, as you said, Poland is the biggest country in terms of Speedway. And as you said, you do talk to us a lot about Speedway. We went to Plymouth with Mikhail and Joseph to discover... No, I said we as Kornelia, me, you, and Joseph. We went to Plymouth to see a Speedway match, which honestly, I was amazed. You know, first of all, how quick it was. Oh yes, Dominic, I can finally see the Lewandowski action that you were commentating before. But yeah, anyway.
Don't worry, guys. If there will be a goal, I won't say anything.
No, you should.
No, you should. If there's a goal, say it out loud.
We'd love it on time.
Yeah. Just to say, so we went to Plymouth to see a Speedway match, and what I wonder is, how come in Poland it manages to be such a big thing for the country, but not for the UK? Why is it a question of money, or is it a question of passion? Like, how come it is such a big thing in Poland?
Well, basically, the Speedway became really popular during World War II and after World War II, where it kind of was a sport that worked as a diversion from everything happening around. And kind of from that time it remained, and we had our own leagues and everything. And it just, I think it became really popular because we really commercialized it to some extent, as in we broadcast all the games that are happening, even in the second league, so you can watch all of them. And it's a very dynamic sport as well, so it's as I like to say, it produces a lot of adrenaline, because basically you've got 4 players at the start line and you don't know which one is going to get out first, so it's obviously very exciting. And obviously I have to say Polish fans are very, very passionate when it comes to whatever sport. I'm watching the game as well.
I should just jump in. It's an absolute mess in the Dutch box. Austria, I can't believe Austria is not 2-0 up. Arnautovic will be disappointed about this one. Firstly, it's fired in, I think, from Zabitzer from the edge. That gets saved. Then it's back in again, deflected. Arnautovic would not want to see that one again. Absolutely ridiculous from Arnautovic. He should be doing better. He fails to bring it down. Then shields the ball away from the keeper, who does exceptionally well to clear it to safety. Before that, Zabitzer with a strike. One more thing. I think the regulations of the station and my formal conduct will not allow me to say it, but I would have called Koeman a clown if I was talking about this game, because he's now taken off Vermeeren from midfield and brought off Javi Simons 34 minutes into the first half. That's earlier than what Didier Deschamps did in the World Cup final for France. So he's now admitted that he's made an error, and he's tried to save everything very early on. So I don't know what Ronald Koeman was thinking before this game, but something that we pointed out early on has now come to reality. He's messed it all up. And at the moment, it's Austria that look to be nailed on to win this. But hopefully for the Dutch, it will change. Back to Speedway, though.
Thank you, Mikhail.
You're welcome.
So basically, to get back to the point, we are very passionate when it comes to different sports, and so people that live in specific cities, such as Gorzów Wielkopolski, they really get involved in a bit in like the team in their city. So, for example, the cities where football is more interesting, more people show up to the football games, whereas where Speedway is more of a big thing, then people show up more to the Speedway games. And you can see it, for example, in Poznań, where which is my hometown, we have a very big football team, so more people are more likely to show up to the football game than to the Speedway game, although there is still people coming, but not a lot. And in Gorzów, the football team is pretty much not doing very well, so everyone comes to the Speedway game. That's one thing. And second thing, we invested a lot when it comes to the sport. And you can even see it in the stadiums that we have, because obviously the Polish stadiums are quite considerably big. And as we've seen, for example, in Plymouth, the stadium is very small.
It was shockingly small.
Shockingly small, exactly. And I texted my dad regarding this. I've sent him the photo of the stadium, and it basically looked like a training stadium for children in Gorzów, which is on the outskirts. So you see there is a considerable difference. So when you invest so much money into building the stadiums and also trying to bring players from around the world right into one place, then it becomes a very popular sport, because obviously you want your team win. You see we as Polish are doing very well in it, and so it becomes more competitive, and so more people want to show up to it. So yeah, that's pretty much how it became so popular.
Okay, well, thank you so much for giving us an overview about what's... Oh, sorry, I thought there was a...
Chance for the Netherlands as well. I would want to ask though about Speedway.
Yeah, go for it.
You obviously know Kornelia watches it a lot. What I'm interested in is how training unfolds, how it progresses throughout, I don't know, the cycle. I assume it's a 9-month season, maybe a bit less than that, maybe 6-month season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chance for Depay, and it's cleared off the line. What a chance for the Netherlands, but I think offside was given before that though. Let's look at it now and I'll get back to my question. It's a ball through the line, yes. Cody Gakpo appears offside, but it was a great chance for the part. What I want to ask is how training unfolds. Is it a lot of physical training? I assume you would expect it to be, but then obviously they have to spend enough time with their bikes as well. How does it work?
So basically the season is roughly starts beginning of April, ends end of October. The rest of the months is just off season, obviously. But that during the off season, from what I've observed and know, it's more of like gym physical training that they do, and then they get back to like riding roughly mid-March to obviously see their chances and everything. And it is because of the fact that the ground that they race on needs to be particularly prepared, so it wouldn't be appropriate to train on during winter months, because it needs to be basically you pour water on the ground every like 20 minutes. So if it's like cold, then the ground is not acting the way you want it to.
Yeah, I think we witnessed that in Plymouth. They added it quite a lot. It was obviously raining, so I assume they added less than usual. But
Because when it cannot be too wet, because then it's hard to slide on it without the brakes and it becomes dangerous. Obviously, like they're not gonna stop the game when it's like there's a bit of rain, but if it starts seriously raining, then they usually need to bring it to an end. But yeah, when it comes to circle back to the training thing, during the season months they train obviously on the stadium, and they have like a lot of exercises when it comes to like leaning from one side to another, because obviously they put a lot of strength into one side when trying to turn. And also reaction wise, it's very important, because the beginning moment of the game is usually of the heat is critical, because once you come out, it's like it can determine everything that's happening, especially as a team. So, for example, an instance could be that if both teammates come out really fast and really well, then they can go out together and try to close down the person that's in between them from the opposite team. So you both have to train your muscles, but also try to obviously design strategy, reaction. So it's quite, goes along the lines of different similar sports. Obviously sports strategy and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much the premise of it.
I don't know. I've seen a total of one Speedway race, and that was 3 weeks ago. But what I noticed was how the role of the start, how much it played the role in basically how the race unfolds. I didn't see anyone getting overtaken from P1 if they managed to take the lead at the start from the 15 races that we saw, or 15 heats. Should I say it correctly? But obviously my sample size is very small.
Yeah, you see the thing is when it comes to the games I watch in Poland, there are some, and sometimes we complain there is not much happening because there's no overtaking, but the overtaking is it happens quite a lot, because you've got more space to do it, And because the stadium here in Plymouth was very, very small, it doesn't give you enough space to have a proper, like, reach a proper speed to overtake someone. And you do have that when you're in Poland.
It's like a Monaco Grand Prix of Speedway.
Yeah.
You basically can't overtake.
Yeah,
exactly.
that is pretty much it. Obviously, like, I think there was like 2 instances where someone overtaken from the back.
No, there was a few, yeah.
But
mostly for
not
for the
spectacular, exactly. And a lot of people were winning from P1 because it's much easier. But you can see a lot. It depends on the stadium and on the ground, and that's why. In the Polish broadcasting, it usually shows the statistics of the wins from different like spots where you start. So, for example, in some stadiums, you're much more likely, if you have a good reaction time, of course, you can win much more easily when you're at the last, the fourth place, which is close to the wall, because then you can cut off everyone and just emerge in the first position. But in some stadiums, the first position is also very useful. So it just depends on the place you're racing at and how the stadium looks like, because none of them are the same. Each of them differs.
Yeah. I think that's a very detailed explanation. So
Very detailed explanation indeed, and a nice explanation just in general about what Speedway is. Thank you so much, Kornelia, for it, because you're also on perfect timing for halftime.